Hello, it's Rosemary Nonny Knight here. How are you doing? Okay, let's talk about profitable and winning landing pages. Woo! Okay, so ultimately, before I even get that far, landing pages are quite useful if you are in business, and you want to collect leads, if you want to have a sales page, where ultimately you want people's attention, your prospects' attention, to be firmly on the one action you want them to take next. If you send them to your website or anything like that, there's so many distractions. They could click the sidebar, they could click the header, they could click the God knows what. So, there's so many distractions. Whereas you send them to a landing page, you have one activity you want them to do, and then they either do it or they leave. And that's the benefit of having a landing page. There's less distraction. So whatever business you're in, whether it's network marketing, if you're using the online world or the online marketing to bring people into your world, then having a landing page, getting to know how to use one is really useful to you. Whether it's e-commerce, again, you could have one particular product on a landing page where the only thing they get to do really is buy your product or go away. If you're a service provider, same thing. Whatever business you're in, there's a way you can use a landing page to your benefit, okay? So first and foremost, you want to know what that purpose is. I've already mentioned a few different things. Is it that you're trying to generate new leads? Is it that it's sales? What is it? What is it that you want? What do you want people to do as a result of coming to that landing page? Have that very clear in your mind, so you're not getting distracted with all the, oh, maybe I can do a bit of that, or I could do a bit of the other, or anything like that on this one page. If you're sending people to that page, know what you're sending them there to do. Next thing is keep it very, very simple. I mean, yeah, that comes down to the having one thing that they should do, but even on the page itself, try and keep the words very concise, very precisely bringing their attention to, again, the action, because it's all about them taking that action, or in some ways it's also about polarizing them. So if they're not into that action, then they move on, they go away. Okay, so keep the purpose of your landing page limited to one thing. Keep it very, very simple. It does what it does, nothing else. There's no headers, there's no distractions everywhere. Have a clear call to action. Again, make it very clear. Assume nothing. Do not assume that your prospect knows exactly what to do. Make it very, very, very clear. Personally, I prefer if the opt-in box, if that's what you're doing, or whatever it is, that the call to action is something they can see very clearly as soon as they come to the page. So I'm not really into the below the fold thing, so when they have to scroll down to the bottom and then finally see that. However, if you have a sales page and you have too soon of where they can buy, then they might be put off thinking, oh yeah, here they are. They haven't even told me why I need to buy this thing, and now they're telling me to buy it, basically. So test things out and see what works for you. Ultimately, it will be a case of you trying stuff out, but ultimately, as long as somebody else can come to that page and know exactly what they're supposed to be doing, assume nothing. It's incredible how some of my clients seem to think that just because they put a picture up of their product, then the prospect automatically knows that they're supposed to buy it. No, don't assume that. Just tell them exactly what you want them to do, okay? Ask for vital information. Yes, what I mean by this is, don't try and ask for, the name of their children, the name of their cats, their dogs, their cars, or how many cars do they have on the very first page. Seriously, most people will leave. Get the basic vital information you need in order to stay in touch with them, and then move them on to the next page where you might want to ask for more information if you choose to. So to start with, maybe just name and email address, maybe even just email address, who knows? And then if they then decide to go on to the next page, I haven't given you that information, even if they decide to flee, at least you have that initial information and you can use that to stay in touch with them. So think about that. And finally, use a winning headline. All headlines are so important for so many things. Even if you're doing offline marketing and you're sending people leaflets or whatever, the headline is incredibly important. And it's also one of the unfortunate things that sometimes people suffer with generating interesting enough or attention-grabbing headlines. I definitely suffer with that, basically, and it takes some doing to get the proper headlines in, and sometimes I just think, oh, forget it. truth be told. But then at the same time, I do try most of the time to generate headlines that get people's attention, that is very clear, and yet at the same time tells people exactly what to expect now that they're on my page, and hopefully speaks directly to their issue so they stick around and take the action that I want them to take on that page. Okay, so that's 5 tips for you with your wonderful landing page. And yeah, an invitation to you, if you are in business or you are considering being in business because you're a professional transitioning just like I used to be, would you like to get yourself a personalized blueprint for your business? So if that is the case, if you would like to know exactly what you need to do to make your 90-day plans actually come into fruition, then it's time to schedule a complimentary 30-minute session with me now. Some spaces come up over the next 2 to 3 weeks maximum, and then the doors are shutting again. So pop over to rosemarynonniknight.com/business breakthrough. It'll be great to have a chat with you and see how I can assist you in moving forward. Okay, rosemarynonniknight.com/business breakthrough.